Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to do a friendship reading between Seulgi and Yeri to figure out how they get along and how their relationship is all about. So let's jump into it. The first question. So one card to represent their connection. We have Balsamic Moon, a time for healing. And then we're going to take out one card for each one of them to figure out a little bit more about them. So one card to represent Seulgi. And then one card to represent Yeri. I said one, so I'm going to put this one's back. Okay, we have... Okay. Oh, they kind of see themselves, they see each other as equals. That's good. So the card that represents both of them, we have Balsamic Moon for a time for healing. So that kind of shows that the type of connection that they have is one where they both feel like equals. I'm saying that because they both have a princess to represent them. So a time for healing makes me think that they're both reaching the end of something, about to start a new journey or something along those lines based on how the moon looks right here. It feels like it's about to be a new moon, and a new moon talks about new paths, new chapters, new journeys, a new beginning basically. So with this balsamic moon, it kind of, and all the purple, it kind of makes me think that they, even if they're not fully aware of it, they're subconsciously have a relationship that is filled with healing. It's filled with balance. It feels like they're both equals in their connection, and they're both able to share and talk about things in such a way that it gives them both a sense of perspective. Now the cards that represent each one of them, for Seulgi we have the Princess of Pentacles, and for Yeri we have the Princess of Wands, which in this case we're talking about the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So here we have like Seulgi is represented by a card that talks about someone that is very analytical, someone that is very patient, someone that is moving pretty slowly, because it's an individual that has a mentality of slow but steady. This is technically Virgo energy, so Seulgi is someone that likes to plan, someone that likes to organize her ideas. She is someone that likes to look at the very fine details of things and tries to put everything into perspective and organizing all of those things to figure out how to go on and how to take on her next step. So that's the type of energy that Seulgi brings into the relationship. And on the other hand, we have Yeri, who is bringing chaos into the relationship. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean this passion and energy to make things, to get the ball rolling. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. So with the Princess of Wands, we're talking about Sagittarius energy, another immutable sign, so one that's always, an energy that's easy to adapt, constantly looking for change, constantly looking for something new to do. And here it kind of shows that Yeri is a type of person that is always filled with inspiration and motivation to get things going. She's always looking for ways to continue moving forward. Unlike Seulgi that likes to plan things a bit more, Yeri will be a bit more impulsive and will do things without thinking much. It's kind of like she feels like she has to do something, or she gets the idea of doing something and then she kind of just goes for it. She doesn't hold herself back much. So yeah, this is definitely, I wouldn't say they're necessarily opposing energies. Earth and fire are not necessarily opposites, but they don't necessarily get along. It's just kind of like, it just is what it is. Because this kind of shows that they're pretty different, and you may think that they're opposites, but that's not necessarily the case. They just see things and do things very differently, but there's still enough room for both of them to get along. Now the next card is, how does Seulgi see Yeri? We have the Page of Swords reversed. I kind of want one more card. Can you clarify the Page of Swords reversed? We have the Seven of Swords. Okay. And how does Yeri see Seulgi? Oh, whoa, okay. So, the way that Seulgi sees Yeri, we have the Page of Swords reverse and the Seven of Swords. So again, swords talk about communication, about ideas and thoughts and speech, stuff like that. So with the Page of Swords reverse, it kind of made me think of someone that maybe struggles to communicate, or it is someone that is still figuring out how to feel a passion in getting curious and learning new things and stuff along those lines, right? Someone that is still kind of developing their form of communication and speech. So this kind of makes me think that maybe Seulgi and Yeri don't have like the best of communication, but they may be working on it. However, the clarification for the Page of Swords reverse was the Seven of Swords. So this kind of tells me what is not necessarily working communication-wise between both of them. Or maybe their ideas don't come through too well for both of them to understand each other. So with the Seven of Swords, we're talking about secrets, maybe even betrayal or deception. To me, the Seven of Swords kind of just shows someone that maybe doesn't say the whole truth, or is someone that has a strategy of just taking what they can rather than, trying to take all seven swords. It's someone that's just taking, whatever it is that they can at hand. Some people can think of this as, stealing or theft or stuff like that. So all I'm trying to get at, though, the Seven of Swords does talk about secrets. That's one thing for sure. So with the Page of Swords reverse, it kind of tells me that maybe Seulgi sees Yeri as someone that doesn't really like to speak about things that she leaves in the past. Yeri seems to be like someone that, like a big mystery that Seulgi just can't really figure out. So she sees Yeri as a person that has a lot, that has kept to herself, and I think Seulgi can't really figure it out. And now, here's the thing. Seulgi is someone that is very analytical. She's always planning, thinking, and observing, and getting all those details. So I do feel that she's able to pick up how Yeri has stuff that she keeps to herself, but she can't really figure out what it is, what that secret is, or what that mystery is, or what is not being said. So I think that could be something that I don't think it necessarily bothers Seulgi that Yeri's not saying this stuff. I think it's just like a big entertaining puzzle for Seulgi to try to figure out what's being hidden in that case. Now, the way that Yeri sees Seulgi is the King of Wands. So Yeri sees Seulgi as a person that knows when to take action, someone that knows how to control their anger, someone that knows how to make their dreams come true, because the King of Wands is someone that is pretty mature, is someone that is very aware of how to work with their emotions. It's not necessarily impulsive. It's someone that knows pretty well how to work with that inspiration and the motivation that a fire can bring, right? It's definitely someone that is very confident, very sure of themselves, as here you will see there's a couple of lions going around. So this tells me that Yeri sees how Seulgi is very confident, sees how Seulgi is very good at making the right decisions, or making the right moves, or making the right calls for something to happen. So in a way, a pretty good leader. Now, I do feel that with the card that Yeri has to represent her as the Princess of Wands, I'm not surprised that the thing that she will see in Seulgi the most will be the fire-like leader energy that Seulgi could carry, right? Someone that knows how to work with people in a way that it can be very charming and also very good strategy, because again, Seulgi is someone that plans a lot. So there's this good sense of admiration that comes from Yeri. But we'll see with the rest of the cards what pops up. Now, how do Seulgi and Yeri like to spend their time together? Whoa. So 2 cards came facing up. I'll take both. We have Cardinal Moon, be bold to make the first move, and then we have First Quarter Moon, your commitment is being tested. So I feel that the thing that they both like to do is just being risk takers. Whether your commitment is being tested, it makes me think of someone that is being told to be persistent, someone that is being encouraged to continue going on the path that could be uncertain, or maybe is not set in stone yet. So it's kind of like, persist and things will happen. But with the be bold and make the first move, it kind of tells me that the thing that they both like to do together is try new things, explore new places. They may really like to encourage each other to continue on their path, or to continue having the courage to stumble and go over obstacles in their path. It definitely feels like with these 2 cards, there's this sense of they like to the way that they like to spend their time together is figure out ways to motivate each other to continue forward, to push past any difficulties, any challenges, any obstacles, or anything that's holding them back. They're both very good at maybe motivating each other or helping the other one see how they can overcome those challenges or stuff along those lines that just keeps them moving forward. This makes me think of someone that has very strong Taurus energy. So what I mean by that is that someone that is very persistent, someone that is very aware of what their goal is, and they just continue chugging along and going forward to that goal and doesn't give up. Tauruses are known for being very determined. That's why they can be stubborn at times, right? Whatever it is that they're going for, whatever it is that they believe in, it's very hard to shake them off that idea. So I do feel that they both have this. The thing that they like to do together is either encourage each other to stay motivated, or they like to try new things and being risk takers and just be like, oh, will this work out or not? Who knows? Let's just go for it. So they're very good at encouraging each other for new things or the things that they're already working on, so they stay motivated. Now the next question is, what does Seulgi like about Yeri? Now the Queen of Wands. What does Yeri like about Seulgi? We have the Lovers. Oh my god, all the shippers went crazy. I heard it. Okay. Do you guys even ship Seulgi and Yeri? And why am I questioning? I bet you do. Anyway, there's someone out there. So with the Queen of Wands, the thing that Seulgi likes about Yeri is that Yeri's a queen. So with the Queen of Wands, we talk about a person that has strong Leo energy. So someone that's very confident, someone that is very creative, someone that enjoys being under the spotlight, someone that enjoys just being the protagonist of their own life, someone that could be, can exaggerate things and be quite a drama queen, but is definitely someone that is filled with fire, someone that is filled with passion, someone that is filled with motivation to move forward and get things done. Leos could be pretty optimistic. Well, it depends on their placements, right? But all fire signs tend to be pretty optimistic. So in this case, I do feel that Seulgi really likes this flashy aspect that Yeri carries, this sense of being pretty content, pretty happy. The Queen of Wands is the energy of someone that's super, super confident, someone that is very creative as well, and someone that is filled with life and filled with joy. So I do feel that those are the things that Seulgi really likes about Yeri. Someone that is always trying to see the bright side about life, someone that's always trying to push forward and have their head held high. So there's this sense of I guess a confidence, just confidence that Seulgi really admires and really likes about Yeri. I just have to mention that the thing that Seulgi likes about Yeri is very similar to the way that Yeri sees Seulgi. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Now oh my god. Now the thing that Yeri likes about Seulgi is the Lovers. So the Lovers kind of tells me that Yeri just naturally feels very comfortable with Seulgi. Also with the Lovers, we have this sense of opportunity. So Yeri feels like she has a lot of opportunities to either open up to Seulgi or feel cared for or loved for, or she feels very lucky when she's with Seulgi. Also, the Lovers represents Gemini energy, so that tells me that they have very good communication, or they like to learn about the latest modern things about everything they can learn of. Gemini is a very curious sign in the sense of being able to always keep up with the fast media. I do feel that out of all of Red Velvet, Seulgi is probably the one that will inform herself about the latest anything that's coming out, and because of that, she's able to keep up with the youth being Yeri in this case. Anyway, but here we have those. It kind of makes me think of a good partnership. So I do feel that Seulgi and Yeri are very good partners in crime. They seem to just understand each other very well. I did mention earlier with the cards that came up, they both see each other as equals, and we have Earth and Fire that are not necessarily opposites, and they're also not elements that get along right away. This is in a sense that it's written in the stars that there's nothing there. Nothing good, nothing bad, so it's pretty neutral. So all I'm getting at is that doesn't mean that they don't get along. It doesn't mean that they will hate each other. It just kind of means that there's a blank slate for both of them to just put whatever they want on it, and then from there build whatever they want from it as well. So with this Lovers cards, it kind of makes me think that what Yeri really likes about Seulgi is that they can they can be like partners in crime, or maybe Yeri just feels understood by Seulgi, or maybe the communication flows very well. Um, Even though it's funny how he had like all this secretive stuff and mystery that Seulgi just can't seem to figure out about Yeri. But and whatever, from Yeri's perspective, it's just like, everything flows, everything's great. I guess there's a sense of optimism that Yeri just carries with her. But yeah, there's this sense that I have a feeling that Yeri really admires Seulgi a lot more than people may know, or maybe I just don't. Maybe I don't know if it's obvious or not. I don't know. Now let's go on to the next question, which is, what has Seulgi learned from Yeri? We have the Four of Pentacles. Ah, that makes total sense. I was about to be like, what does that mean? No, I get it. It makes sense. And what has Yeri learned about Seulgi, or from Seulgi? I don't know how to fix it. The Hierophant. Wow. So I want to mention that all the cards that came out from Yeri's side are pretty big cards. We have court cards, and we have what do you call it? Major Arcana cards. So that kind of shows that Seulgi is a very important person to Yeri, or has had a very strong impact on Yeri. Now, let's see. So the thing that Seulgi has learned from Yeri is how to let go. So the Four of Pentacles upright talks about someone that is treasuring or holding so tightly to the physical and material things, or maybe even career and stuff, that the person can't move because they're holding so tightly to something that they fear they will lose. So with this card being reversed, I feel that the thing that Seulgi has learned from Yeri is how to let go of that idea of holding on to something. I do feel that maybe Seulgi has feared a lot of losing maybe the things that she has gained in her career, or maybe the things that she has worked very hard for. There's maybe this fear that Yeri has been able to like shoo away for Seulgi, and was able to teach her, maybe nothing lasts forever, or when you lose something, it's not that bad, or something along those lines, that Seulgi has been able to just kind of come into terms with and understand that. Oh, you know what's the other thing that I thought of? Is that maybe Seulgi has, since we got this thing about planning, and I do know that Seulgi did mention that the plan that she had for her 10 years did come true, so now she made a new one for the next 10 years, which I'm not surprised that that's what Seulgi does. So all I'm saying is that the other thing that Seulgi may have learned is how to let go of the the plan or the idea that she has in mind. So let's say that Seulgi is planning, these are my goals, and this is how I'm going to get there. Yeri has allowed or has helped Seulgi see how to be more flexible, how to not always have to follow that path that Seulgi may have written for herself to reach that goal, right? So again, this sense of being more flexible, or being able to maybe not plan in so much detail to the point that Seulgi goes like, I can't do this because I told myself I was going to do this other thing before that, right? So again, there's this sense of flexibility, there's this sense of, maybe planning things again, and not having to always go by the book or by the detailed plan that Seulgi may have written for herself. So yeah, with this Four of Pentacles reversed, it kind of feels a sense of freedom, a sense of being able to flow a bit more with time and with space, and not being bound by, Seulgi's thinking, or being bound by her planning, or being bound with material things. Pentacles does talk about health as well. It talks about material possessions, and it also talks about career. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Seulgi had plans of like, my career is going to go like this, and I'm going to do this and this other thing. And then maybe she gets very sad when things don't work out the way that she had envisioned them. And then she has learned from Yeri how to be a bit more flexible, maybe not being too hard on herself, or being able to, do a change of plans a lot quicker in a way that doesn't make Seulgi feel so bad about things not working out the way that she had originally planned. Now, the thing that Yeri has learned from Seulgi is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is the Taurus energy I was talking about earlier. This is a tree that is very wise, that carries a lot of experience, that has a very strong foundation. So those are the things that Yeri has learned from Seulgi. I just noticed that there's like a red bird, and that makes me think of having very good luck. And that kind of shows that maybe Yeri has felt very lucky to have someone so supportive with her, or someone that is so constant, if that makes sense. someone that this, the whole world could be burning, and this person is still the same. There's some comfort in knowing that someone is still them, that they haven't changed, right? So again, that's because of Seulgi's slow, but surely type of energy that is always constantly moving and in a way constantly changing, but it's so constant that that change is very gradual. It doesn't hit too quickly, and it doesn't make someone go like, "Oh, who are you now?" So I do feel that Yeri finds comfort in that, or she has learned how to be very wise and how to be a leader. Maybe Yeri has learned from Seulgi how to be her own boss, if that makes sense, or being able to guide herself down the path that Yeri may have wanted. The Hierophant is number 5, and in tarot, number 5 usually talks about challenges or difficulties. Is usually the number that goes right after 4, which talks about stability. So yeah, number 5 is supposed to be like a little bump on the road, a little challenge, something that is supposed to steer things up in order to continue learning. So yeah, with this Hierophant energy, I do feel that maybe Seulgi had been clashing with Yeri before, and that had allowed Yeri to learn how to overcome those challenges, or how to face them in the first place, or how to notice them, something along those lines. So I do feel that Seulgi has been a teacher for Yeri. Maybe Seulgi has taught Yeri how to do things by the book or by rules, or has taught her, this is how you should, this is how things conventionally work, and this is how it usually works. And Yeri has been able to learn from those things. In order to break the rules, you need to learn what the rules are in the first place. If you want to make a statement, you need to know what you're breaking. So I do feel that Yeri has learned that from Seulgi, right? She has learned, okay, so this is what the normal, conventional thing to do. Okay, that's great. Now this is what I'm doing, right? So I do feel that Yeri hasn't necessarily put herself in a box, but has definitely at least learned how the rules of the game work, right? So now Yeri knows how to play the game. Now she knows what to do. Now she knows how to think outside the box, because now she knows where the limitations are. So I do feel that with this Hierophant, Yeri has also learned a lot of just life advice type of things from Seulgi. So I guess Seulgi has very good advice, or Seulgi, since she's older than Yeri, has been able to tell Yeri, oh, this happens, this is how life is, or, watch out when this happens, because you're eventually going to reach that point, or something along those lines. Now let's go on to the last question, which is, why is it Seulgi and Yeri meet? Oh crap. So a lot of cards fell, but I'm going to take this single one right here. So the reason that they met, we have full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. With this full moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution, it makes me feel that they met so that they could help each other out through those difficult moments that they have. I don't think they both have issues with each other personally. I don't think Yeri and Seulgi hate each other. I don't think that they might butt heads once in a while because they have different approaches to the things that they do, but I don't necessarily think that they both have an issue with each other. I do feel that with a personal issue reaches resolution, with a full moon, we're talking about almost the end of the cycle, or at least it's the peak. It's kind of like the climax point of a journey. So I do feel that they both met so that they can continue encouraging each other to move forward, to continue during very heightened times. It makes me think of a lot of energy is flowing in, and you know when someone's going through that, you feel that tension of something's about to happen. I feel that that's when they both definitely met. It's they met so that they can unwind a little bit, or continue encouraging each other to go through the most the highest point of their journey, and then be able to continue forward. So with this Cancer energy, it kind of feels like they met so that it could be a comforting space for each other, or being some sort of home for each other, a safe space for sure, and being able to care for each other and learn from that. Kind of, in a way, it feels like they were able to kind of go out of their shell a little bit, or maybe not necessarily, but definitely created a small circle for them to just feel connected, and in a way influence each other to continue developing and growing in the sense where they can stay motivated and just continue chasing their dreams, which I guess makes sense since they met since they were trainees, right? And now they're in a group together doing their own thing. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I hope you guys really liked this reading. I thought it was pretty interesting seeing how Yeri has all of his beautiful cards over here. So many major arcana and court cards, and so much fire, so much fire. But yeah, the only water that we have right here is the Cancer Moon. So that's kind of nice, right? They met for emotional reasons, but they go about their life in a very different way. You know, very pragmatic and practical with the pragmatic. I don't know if that's a word, but very practical with the earth energy, and then a lot of fire over here, and then a bit of swords because of Seulgi. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye. I do wonder if there's, what is it called? What is the ship name for Seulgi and Yeri? I bet you guys know. You guys are fans.